Hi, 8th graders. This is Miss Dallas, and we are going to be doing our first page of our drug unit. If you turn the cover to the inside, you will see a page that looks like this. As soon as you see that page, please put a star next to the name. Write your name, your period, and the date, and then we will go through a PowerPoint and you will add in your notes as we go. Okay, we're going to skip a couple of these here. Drug use, which is actually one of the very first things. What is a drug? A drug is any medicines, but not all medicines are drugs. So a substance other than food. So a lot of people want to say that coffee or chocolate is a drug, and they're not wrong in the way that it changes your mind, how your mind works, and you want more and more of it. But we classify drugs as anything that changes the structure and function of the body other than food. So we're not talking about coffee, we're not talking about chocolate, we're not talking about food in general. Drug use, okay, here is your definition for drug use, is when a person uses a drug appropriately, so as it is prescribed or directed by their doctor for a specific medical reason. Now, we have two different kinds of medicines that we talk about, prescriptions and over-the-counters. Prescription medicines are sold only from a written order from your doctor or physician. It says how much, when to take it, how to take it, for what duration of time, and it's very, very specific. Where over-the-counter medicines are safe enough to be taken without those very specific orders from that physician, but they still should be you should still understand that those are still medicines and they can have adverse side effects. So what is a side effect? Side effect is, even when you're taking medicine, sometimes they still cause those side effects. It's any other effect than the one intended. So let's say I take a cold medicine and it makes me sleepy. Or, allergy medicines are known for making people tired, drowsy, that sort of thing. Some of them keep you up, and some of them cause upset stomach. There's a variety of different health effects that can be caused by the side effects. Okay, so let's guess this drug. So we have heartburn, nausea, upset stomach, severe allergic reactions, including rashes, hives, itching, difficulty breathing, blah, 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 blah. You can read the rest. What terrible, horrible medicine must this be if it causes these terrible side effects? I'll give you a second to think about it. It is aspirin, everyday aspirin. Most people don't realize that something as common as an everyday aspirin can have really, really adverse side effects. Drug misuse, so taking a medicine in any other way than it's intended. People can take or misuse drugs that are over the counter or medicines. So here's what you're going to put on these little bullet points here. I'm going to get back here and you can see these little bullet points are what we're going to talk about next. There we go. First of all, misusing a drug is taking that drug without following the prescription label or basic instructions. Using a drug that's not prescribed for you. Maybe it's prescribed for a friend, but you feel that you both have the same things, so I'm going to take it as well. That is not using it correctly. It's misuse. Allowing someone else to use the medicine that's prescribed to you, so you give it to your friend, taking more of the drug than the doctor prescribed. So he says, I'm going to give you enough for a second dose of antibiotics if you need them in the future. Oftentimes they do that, like if you have pink eye, they will give you extra. But let's say you have pink eye, he gives you the extra eye drops, and even though your pink eye seems to be gone, you're like, oh, that makes my eye feel so much better, so you continue taking the drops even though you don't have symptoms anymore. That's misuse. Using the drug longer than it was advised by your doctor. Another example. Now, abuse is different than misuse. misuse. Now, misuse is really taking it incorrectly. Abuse is intentionally taking it wrong to get high, where misuse is taking it wrong but to treat my illness. So very commonly illegal drugs, legal drugs for non-medical reasons. So let's say here that I have ADHD and I'm talking with my friend and he says that, you know what, I think I have ADHD because I have all of these things as well. If I give him my medicine to treat him, we are misusing that. It's not prescribed to him. My dose might be different than his dose if we were even going to take the pills, the same pill. However, now my friend does not have any symptoms of ADHD. He says, let me have some of that ADHD meds so I can see what it feels like. That's taking it illegally. So it's an abuse. They are taking it for non-medical reasons. Now, tolerance can often develop. This is when a doctor may prescribe you a medicine, and if you take it for a long period of time, it may not give you that desired effect anymore. And what has happened is tolerance. So the person's body becomes so used to it, they're going to need more to cause that same effect. We often talk about tolerance when we talk about alcohol. Alcohol is notorious for needing more and more and more to cause that same effect. So let's say tonight we have a person that goes home and they have one beer. Okay, that one beer causes a buzz. They like how that feels. So they want to go home tomorrow night and do that same thing, get that same desired effect. So what they do is they take that one beer and maybe they do that 3, 4, 5, maybe a week. Who knows? Everybody's going to be different, but they do this over a period of time. And pretty soon that one beer doesn't produce the same effects anymore. Now they need 2 beers and they do that for a while. Nope, that's not cutting it anymore. Now I need 3. Now I need 5. Now I need 10. And that is how you get alcoholics who may look at you and talk to you without even slurring their words, but that's because their body has built up this tolerance. An alcoholic can look at you and not slur their words and maybe not be stumbling and may not appear drunk, but that does not mean they are not drunk. That means that they have built up their tolerance. Their body now functions really well with that alcohol in it. Addiction, long term, it's a psychological use of the drug. Categorized by daily intoxication. So this person is going to need absolutely, I need more of it. I need more of it. I need more of it. I need it when I wake up. I need it at lunchtime. I need it at dinner. I need it before bed. You can see this with alcoholism. You can see this with people who are addicted to smoking. Really, the daily intoxication is what classifies addiction. These people now have unable to reduce their consumption. They cannot have less. So if they need those 10 beers to cause that high, they need 10 beers. It is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Maybe it's causing social or occupational, their career functioning. They can't hang out with their friends anymore because they act like jerks. Maybe they don't talk nicely to them. Maybe they become violent, whatever. They are impairing their normal functioning. So this is a really good example. Let me go back here and it shows you how this tolerance occurs. So if I feel good, this is the baseline here is just feeling normal, feeling good. I wake up, I feel fine. Now, this first time I get high, that high is super high. Okay, and it feels really, really good. But when I'm coming off this drug, I don't just go back to normal. I feel really junky. I feel really, really bad. And when I'm down here at the bottom, guys, all I'm thinking about is getting back up to this high right here. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to go and I'm going to find drugs. I'm going to find more alcohol so I can work to get this high. But the next time I get high, it's not as good. It feels good. I feel better, but it's not as good as that original high. Okay, now I'm coming back down and now I feel really, really bad. Maybe I'm sick. Maybe I am just feeling terrible. Maybe I'm throwing up. I have headaches. I got to get more. But again, every single time I get that high, I am not getting quite as good high as I did the very first time. And pretty soon these little hills even out, and people are getting high just to feel normal in a day, not even to feel good. And these lows are really low. They're depression. They feel junky. They feel terrible. It is a really, really bad feeling. So the highs and the lows are almost, non-existent. The lows are so low, the highs are just barely getting me back to feeling okay. Drugs affect every single part of your wellness. So if you look, I'm going to bounce back here one more time, guys. If you look down here, it says, how do drugs affect every part of a person's wellness? So we know that the three basic or the three levels of wellness that we talk about daily are physical, mental, emotional, and social. So if you can make each one of these little circles here one of those, physical, mental, emotional, and social, that's what we're talking about right now. So physical, we have the sleeplessness, we have the irritability, and as we progress into drug abuse and tolerance and addiction, we have long-term health effects like strokes, heart attacks, heart failure, all sorts of things. Mental and emotional wellness, we have depression, anxiety, difficulty concentrating. Social, a lot of social is losing our friends and family, losing interest in our activities, in school, in our after school sports and things like that. So when we experience drugs and abuse and tolerance and addiction, it just doesn't affect our physical bodies. It really affects every single thing about us. Now, at the bottom of this page, guys, you're going to see a summary. You will go ahead and write just a couple sentences to summarize what you learned here today, as a way of Miss Dallas knowing that you've actually listened to my entire spiel. You are going to write something. You can see it right here on your screen. The sky is purple is our secret sentence of the day. So write that either on the bottom or kind of in the margins somewhere, and I know that you will have listened to my entire video. Thank you guys, and I will see you in class.